Okay, so this is just a fun little episode we thought we'd throw in there, and that is what we got our children for Christmas. So obviously, people's budgets are all over the map. People's desires for what they want to give their children are all over the map. We're still pretty new to celebrating Christmas as a family. I think this is our third year, maybe. And so this is something we're constantly figuring out. We don't just want to bring a ton of junk into our home. We don't want to make it a materialistic holiday. And yet, all of you who have children know the gifts are the favorite part of Christmas. So anyways, we're going to just walk you through what we're doing this year, living in the tent, maybe give you some ideas. And I mean, if you just want to enjoy listening to this, you can do that too. So anyways, give it a thumbs up if you enjoy. And as always, thank you so much for sharing this podcast with those that you love, because that helps us get in the homes of more people that are like-minded, that are furthering the gospel mission and the mission to encourage families. And that just means the world to us. So thank you guys so much.
The Now That We're a Family podcast.
Wow, that's crazy. We're already on to the recording the second episode in December here in the great outdoors. I mean, obviously in our tent studio. But November, it flew by, but it also felt like we had to earn it as well. Wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, totally. It's funny how some days seem really long and then the weeks just fly by.
Yes. Yeah. What's the old quote that the days are long, but the years are short? I feel like that's how it has been with the weeks and the months. It's like some days out here on the property are like, whew, let's get through this. The weather's a little dicey, it's cold or whatever. And then all of a sudden the month's gone.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty crazy. So here we are in December. So I guess we'll just dive in, huh?
I'm actually really looking forward to this because a lot of this is going to be news to me. I don't know if other fathers are more engaged in getting their kids Christmas gifts or birthday gifts. I've been really, every time I go to get a gift with one of my kids or for one of my kids, it ends up being way beyond their years. It's like I go and I'm like, oh, our son's turning 4. Like he'd love this firearm, and I bring it home and you're like, what are you doing? Or like a tomahawk or just a weapon that's a little bit beyond his age and his capabilities. And so I'm grateful that you're really heading up the gift buying this year.
Well, they love it. And that's what makes it fun when Daddy buys the gifts. And yeah, so we kind of talked about, there are a couple things we wanted to keep in mind this Christmas. One is space. And we just don't have room for pretty much anything in our tent. We don't want to make room for anything. Like we've got the necessities in there. We have books. We have Lego. We have things the kids enjoy playing with, but I don't really want to add a ton to that. The second thing is we are building. And so this is not a blowout year. We wanted to keep it as affordable as possible as well. And then I also just want the kids' expectations to be, this is kind of how we boiled it down, is they get 2 gifts under the tree and then they get their stockings.
Okay.
And in years past, I've tried to do 1 gift under the tree and stockings. And somehow I never kept it to 1 gift. So I feel like we did pretty good with the 2 gifts. Something that I did this year, though, was American stockings are not socks. They are supersized, like everything else. And I got really sick of, I didn't just want to stuff the stocking full of junk, but I feel like that's what you end up doing in order to keep a stocking affordable, because they're so big and you can't put like a meaningful big gift in a stocking. And so stockings just were really annoying me, because I would be thoughtful about the first few things that went in, and then they would sit in the toe of the stocking. Now what? Yeah. So I feel like that's where a lot of junk came into our home.
I always liked the toe of the stocking. I mean, it was, that was where you get the pencil eraser, I think, and maybe the spinning thing atop, stuff like that. Maybe a thimble, if you were into that, if that was a season of life that you're in, getting thimbles.
What did you do with the thimble?
What everybody does with a thimble. You put them on your fingers and you thread needles.
Is that a season of life you were ever in?
Yeah. Or just single pieces of gum would be found down there in the toe. So I don't know if I ever experienced my stocking, even though they were supersized, being full of junk. And what do you mean by supersized? Maybe they weren't supersized.
Well, honestly, the stockings that your mom has that are handmade are smaller they're cute
Yeah.
and they're bigger than what we have today, but they're way smaller than the kids' stockings that I bought at the store.
Okay.
The kids' stockings are just giant. Anyways, so this year I just bought big socks. And I was like, you know what? In Little House on the Prairie, they got an orange and a candy cane, and it blew their mind. We're going to that, okay? You get a little treat. That's what the stocking is. It's this little treat in the morning. The funny thing is these socks actually are huge.
You're right.
They're really fluffy, though, so there's not a ton of room to fit stuff inside.
Got it. Because they kind of look like the size of what I grew up with.
Yes, which is probably a lot more normal. It's not like the size of my sock, which I would be fine going down to once these are out. But they're bigger than, they're way, like, probably quarter of the size of what we had for our other last stockings. So anyways, I think that's just going to be fun, a fun change. We had another kiddo entering the mix this year. It was a good excuse to get rid of the stockings that we have used. Be like, we're going to get something that matches for the whole family and just downsize the stocking size. So maybe we should go through stockings first.
Sure.
Okay. All right, so I'm just going to show you guys what we do for the kiddo stockings. And so each one of them, they get a little gift in there, and then they get an electrolyte bag and a piece of gum.
Nice.
So that's what we do for the treats. The electrolyte bags have always been a hit. And so that's what we're sticking with this year, and then a piece of gum. And then, so for Lucy, I put in just a few. I'm going to get a little bag for this. And it's like a lip balm, a little hand butter, and a pink nail polish. She's going to get that all in a little handbag in her stocking. So that'll be her special stocking gift. She loves girly stuff. She doesn't get it a lot. And I just think that it's like, oh, wow, that was a fun treat in the morning. You know?
Yeah, I that's like perfect. To me, that's what the stocking should be. Or little things like that. You know, $10 roughly, right, for all of that.
Yeah, exactly. It's around $10. So like price that I spent on all the kids this year was $250. And so I don't know if that's...
And that's for 4 kids, because I'm guessing we didn't get anything. Did we get anything for Lionel?
I got a little like dollar rubber spiky ball for
Okay,
Lionel.
nice. He'll be stoked about that.
Yes.
Okay, so $250 for 4 kids. It was like 200 of that on me. I'm trying to figure out where my gifts are going to be fitting in there. No, I'm joking.
I'm glad you brought that up. Elisha and I don't give Christmas gifts to each other. This is like, we aren't the gifty people. You guys know that. We said that before. And we just rather have experiences, go out to a nice dinner. I mean, Elisha spoils me rotten. But it's just not necessarily gifts on specific holidays. Aside from birthdays, we give each other gifts on birthdays.
Yeah, I mean, you got me that awesome Bible this last birthday. That is like a huge part of our life now. So
I love that Bible. But I also love, I love you reading that Bible to our family. But I also, you've got me some fantastic gifts. Some of them have been trips. Some of them have been clothing sprees, stuff like that, that really mean a lot to me.
Yeah, jewelry. Yeah.
We haven't nailed the jewelry, but that's okay. I'm not a big jewelry person, so it's tricky. But
yeah, I mean, I went against my better judgment. I was like, this looks ugly, and I would never want to see this on my wife, but it's expensive, so maybe she'll feel loved if I buy it for her.
It was really thoughtful. The thought was really meaningful. Okay, so then for Louie here, we have, let's see. You already bored by this? You're checking your phone.
No, I was making sure it was off here when I was just an hour ago. It went off in the middle of it.
This is so boring. Something that we do is, like in the Advent calendar, we give vitamins every day, like chewable vitamins. They get an extra vitamin. So that's one way to give yourself a healthy little Christmas. The kids are stoked, and instead of it being a piece of chocolate or candy, there's a vitamin. So for Louie,
wow,
he got a new pocket knife.
Well, that's nice. I mean, I feel like, how much was this?
I don't know the prices of any of these things.
But that's a good gift.
Yeah, it's a Smith & Wesson. It's nice. It's sharp.
Didn't Almanzo get like a jackknife in his stocking one year?
He did.
Yeah, so it seems like a fitting stocking stuffer.
A fitting stocking stuffer. So again, something to get excited about.
Yeah. All right.
Lawrence. Lawrence has all the same things except for he has these really basic on and off walkie-talkies.
Whoa.
So Lawrence has wanted walkie-talkies because the older boys have them, but he honestly can't control the walkie-talkie. There's too many buttons. So this, you just hold it down and talk and then let go.
But they actually work, huh?
Yeah, but they work.
No way. Is there batteries
There's
in here
no
right now?
batteries in them right now.
Okay. That's fun, though. I mean, they probably don't have a great,
I'm sure they're
range.
terrible, but like just around the tent is really where he would want to use them. He's
That's great.
3. And so I just wanted something really user-friendly.
Fun.
And that's what he got. Okay, here's the thing with Leon. I feel like this is a classic older boy problem. Everything they want is very expensive and very large and hard to fit in a stocking. So I think I'm just going to give him his electrolytes and his gum in his stocking and then have him get his other gift.
Whoa. So
that just doesn't
basically
fit.
he's getting a huge gift while the other kids are getting
Well, it's just big in size. It's not like they cost more money.
Okay, nice. Okay, real quick. If you're looking for music lessons for your family, piano lessons, guitar lessons, fiddle lessons, ukulele lessons, mandolin lessons, you can subscribe to Voteberg Music Academy and get lessons for the whole family. Subscribe to the piano course, 1 subscription, get you piano lessons for the whole family. Subscribe to guitar, that gets you guitar lessons for the whole family. We'll link it below. You get a special discount, and you can see that below by listening to our podcast. That's how you get the discount. Go check it out. Yeah, Leon, from the beginning, when it comes to his birthday, and then once we started celebrating Christmas, has just had no shame asking for the biggest things in the world. Like, he is the guy. If he was a girl, he'd be asking for a pony, and like not understanding why he didn't get it. He's like, I don't understand. This is what I want. You know that, right? You're like,
Yeah, so we're working on that with him. Obviously, we don't want our kids to become entitled, and that is just a tricky line to walk. But it was one of those things where there were 3 things he really, really wanted, and I didn't necessarily want to get an extra thing just to put it in a stocking. So, anyways, all right. So those are the stockings, and now we'll talk about, I guess, the gifts.
let's do it. Let's dive into the big gifts.
Okay, so something that we did is I got all the kids a book for one of their gifts, and then another gift.
Nice. That's great. So those are their gifts.
Those are the 2 things.
That's good. That's great.
So we don't have them all here. So Leon, he got a set of the Hardy Boys.
Okay, so multiple books. Got
Yes.
it. Right.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I love a good excuse to fill our library.
Right.
So this is a great time to buy a set of books that's $30 or $40, and they read through it for a long time, but it's something Elisha and I want on our shelves.
Yes.
So we got the Hardy Boys. I don't have those here with me. I didn't buy them new. I bought them all used on thrift books. And so instead of paying like $10 up for a book, I was paying $4. And I think
Per
I got
book?
5 of those.
Nice.
Yeah. So I got him 5 Hardy Boys. He already owns the first few in the set. And then for Lucy, none of her books are here either. So she asked for picture books. She said if I could get anything. And this is what the kids requested, which is funny, is I didn't tell them they were going to get books and something else. They requested books.
Okay.
Is one of their gifts. And then I just went with it for the younger boys.
Nice.
So I got some of those Tasha Tudor illustrated books, again, used on thrift books for Lucy. Because she's like, can I specifically have picture books?
Nice.
And she loves her name in books. And so I got her a couple Lucy books.
Okay. Who doesn't love seeing their own name?
I know. So I will link down below the ones that I got if you're curious. But I don't have either of those here to show you guys today, but I'm really happy to bring both of those into our library. Okay. Did your family ever have this book?
I was just looking over your shoulder at it, and I don't recognize it at all.
Really?
Yeah.
This was back in the when everyone was buying the G.A. Henties and the lamplighters.
Yeah,
This
we bought
was
all
for sale,
those.
too.
No way. Yeah.
There. So the Dangerous Book for Boys, someone brought this to our co-op, one of the kids, and did a little talk through on it, and a presentation, and no one wanted to stop talking through it. Like, all the kids were just hovered around it and looking at it and talking about it and talking about it. And I was like, that's right. We used to have that on our shelf.
Really? That's
So
fun.
I got this book for Louis. I just felt like it would be age appropriate for him. There's some cool pictures in it. Making a bow and arrow, navigation, pen and paper games, first aid. It's just a book that he was already really interested in. So I think he's going to be excited to get this book. And it's a beautiful book to have on your shelf.
Awesome. That's fun. I'm excited about that one too.
So like this, I did buy used or new. It was $26.
Okay. Louis gets the luxury item. What else we have here?
For Lawrence, I got a set of Curious George.
Those are fun.
Well, for one, Lawrence reminds me of Curious George.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding? It's like he's so good-natured, but kind of getting into trouble and talking himself out of it.
Yeah.
So anyways, there's 7 of these stories. They're all hardbacked. Again, this is something that I would want in our kids' library. So I think this was new. It was probably a little more expensive than Leon and Lucy's books, but I think he's going to really like that.
Yeah. It's a win for the family, for sure.
This is going very fast.
Well, that's great. I mean, this is all new to me. I'm actually getting excited because we obviously both love books. We love building out our library. And so far, all these books are going to be a nice addition, both like content-wise, but also aesthetically. Like you found some books that look good, which is nice when you're building out your bookshelf, your library.
Yeah. And then something else. So then the boys' second gift is Lego. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's nothing really to talk about with this gift. I feel like if your kids are into Lego, then you know Christmas and birthdays are great times to buy sets because Lego are not cheap. And the kids love the minifigures. So I tried to load up on the minifigures. So this is the one I got for Lewis. I got this one for Leon here. I don't know. They love the Star Wars ones. They've never seen Star Wars, and a lot of their friends have seen Star Wars and talk about it. So therefore, they think that the Star Wars Lego are the coolest Lego.
Nice.
Even though they have no concept for what any of this is. They're just like stoked about it. And then for Lawrence, he still plays with the Lego bin that we just have a ton of random Lego in. But again, he loves the minifigures. So I just got him this minifigure pack of 10 minifigures.
Oh, that's going to be so nice to have because that becomes a point of contention in the household is that Lawrence will just find those and stuff them in his pockets. And he loves having them on him. And then the other kids are missing their guys. And so they always, it can become a point of contention, like I said.
Get annoyed. So he's only 3 years old. So he doesn't, I've never bought him a pack where he has to follow the directions, but I'd be wary to do that, I guess. So I figure these new minifigures will just make it more fun for him to play with the Lego that we already have.
Did you buy those like from Lego or are they like repackaged, repurposed? What is it? How is that?
I don't know. I haven't opened them up. They're from Amazon. I think it's their repackaged, repurposed minifigures.
Nice.
I don't think they're straight from Lego. Like
Nice.
they're Lego brand, but
great.
they're just
Great.
people that someone else repackaged and
Nice.
sold.
That's awesome.
So anyways, okay, so that's technically all the boys' second gifts. And then Lucy, she's been
nice.
begging for gel pens. You've heard her ask for
Yes.
gel pens so much. So again, I got her these gel pens. Who knows how well they're going to work, but she loves art supplies. So that's going to be something that she gets alongside of her picture books are gel pens.
That's a huge win. I honestly, especially with these, everything thus far has been such a win for each one of our kids. So you're a great gift giver. You really do listen, and you're good at giving gifts to me. It would bless each one of the kids. But then, like you said, with that criteria that we established at the beginning where we didn't want to take up a lot of space. Okay, we have limited space living in the tent, and then it is it's an expensive year for our family, and so we're not too motivated just to be spending a lot of extra money on gifts. And I think you're doing a great job so far in what you
Thanks, Elisha.
what you got.
Yeah, I know this is the first time he's seen what I got, so I'm glad that it's all going over well. Okay, and then, so this is where we kind of kick into overtime.
Okay, I was going to say, I was keeping track, and I'm pretty sure each one of the kids has all of their gifts now.
Yeah. So Leon, I'm thinking I might try to stuff a Hardy Boy or something in his stocking and then say, oh, here's the rest of them. And that will be his stocking stuffer. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Or try to put part of his Lego in his stocking or something. And then he really wanted to play this Risk game. Again, it's a game his friends have, so he loves it. But this is a game that he can only really play with Elisha and I when we have 5 days on our hands.
Yeah.
We're just like, what? Or, I mean, Lucy can kind of play it, but then, or it's like when friends are over. So this isn't like a super practical gift, but he wasn't dropping it. And I figured it's one that we want to have in our game library eventually.
Yeah.
So this was his third gift.
That's great. And it'll be interesting to see if we ever become a game family. I know we're closer than we've ever been since going screen free, where we did memory a lot. We'll play chess, but we haven't really. I still feel like we're a long ways from being a board game family.
Yeah, for sure. Like the kids play Uno, Go Fish, all the little like card games that they can play themselves. They like Candyland.
Yeah, but as far as like strategy games, board games.
Well, I loved Risk growing up.
Oh, you did? Well, great. And so then I think we can totally be that family. The only board game I played with my siblings growing up was Monopoly.
Yeah, we had Monopoly and Risk.
Yeah, my siblings got into Risk, and then what was the other one? Like Dominion? Was that a game?
Dominion was in there. Settlers of Catan was big with your family.
Yes. And I never got in. Like I never played it one time. It just missed me somehow.
Yeah, Ticket to Ride.
Yeah, Ticket to Ride was another one everybody played in my family.
Yeah, so I agree. Elisha and I, we missed out. I played Risk and Monopoly. I loved Risk. Loved it. The worst fights we ever got into as siblings were playing Risk. Ever. Because we played alliances. Mm-hmm. You could be allied. And that's...
Yeah, it gets personal at that point.
Yeah, totally. And everyone would gang up and just make sure that I didn't win. That's what I took it as. But I see the kids doing that even in their little games with Leon. And I told him, I'm like, it is an oldest child thing. Like, as long as you don't win, the whole team wins.
Everybody's happy.
Everybody's happy. So anyways, this is where I kind of branched out. And then because I bought this, it was this slippery slope. Because I was like, you know what? The kids aren't going to be able to play that all together for a while. It's technically like a 10 and up game. And our kids are 7 and under. So I got Risk Junior.
Got it. So that was a slippery slope because you went from having all the kids, being done with the shopping. And then you're like, okay, he's been asking for this, then that. And you're like, okay, there's probably like an extra $100. Those are probably like the most expensive gifts, huh?
Oh, yeah. These and honestly, some of the books. But it's like the books I was going to spend money on either way.
I'm not upset. I'm really happy that it was $250.
Yeah. So this game's 2 to 4 players. It's 5 and up. And I felt like, hey, it's like a consolation prize. They'll probably end up just playing this one most of the time. But if I got Leon this game, I think he'd be really bummed out that he didn't get the official Risk. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
But I like buying things where the kids can stay engaged by themselves without Elisha's or my input. So I might end up giving this to Louie.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Which means Lucy's going to need another gift. See where this is going. I am curious as to whether or not, like when it comes to gifts and holidays, if the moms are more prone to spending and buying, or if it could be either parent.
I mean, I feel like when it comes to gear, it's dads probably.
Okay.
Primarily who are going and buying gear. Like whenever you take the boys out and you go to a gear store, you come home with something.
Yeah. That's true.
But it's like you have to be in store with them.
See them get excited and all that. And you're kind of like, well, yeah, of course.
It's not like you're like sitting down because it's this holiday, therefore I shall buy you something.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah.
Well, okay. And I was thinking about Lucy though, Elisha. I know I haven't run this by you. But now seems like a good time. We're buying that, or I'm buying that sewing machines for Lucy to make all her aprons. She keeps asking, this is a huge gift.
Yeah.
But she keeps asking, for her own sewing machine. And so I thought, because I'm going to be sewing so much for the barn on my sewing machine, once we get it out of storage, once we can find it, it might be kind of nice if she had her own little sewing machine and then we could sew together. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, but I just thought once we're done with these aprons, maybe I would tell her this sewing machine was hers.
I could see that. Yeah, I mean...
Potentially.
Well, but it would be more fun, obviously, to give it as a gift.
It would be.
Yeah.
I'd probably wrap it up, and tell her, okay, this is your sewing machine or something.
Yes.
So that way I feel like it would kind of diminish the expense of the item since we'd already been working on it. Yep. And she thought it was mine. And then I'd just wrap it up and officially tell her it was hers.
You're talking about the one we're going to return, or are you talking about the one that's in the storage unit?
No, I'm returning this one, but I'm just going to get one that's that works better so we can finish the aprons.
Oh, I didn't realize we had to. Okay, got it. Makes sense. Great. This was a great time to bring it up. Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. We'll see. Honestly, I don't feel like Lucy needs another present. And if we did end up, I could probably get her like a $10 dress at the thrift store and she would be stoked out of her mind. You know what I mean?
Katie,
the kids aren't like...
I'm sounding like the Grinch here, but I am a sucker for my kids being happy with gifts. You know that.
I do know that.
I also, it's just, this is, honestly, it's a classic timing thing. You know, it's a classic, like, wow, life just got expensive. But that's the nice thing about being married to somebody that's got a big perspective, you know, a bigger outlook on life. I get caught up in the weeds, you know, the nitty gritty of like, wow, this is what we've got going on right now. But this is my children's childhood. And I don't want to.
You're so generous with our kids. They are they don't need any extra stuff.
Yeah, but it is fun, huh?
Yeah, but it is fun. It is fun thinking about how much they're going to enjoy these things. And so, again, that's just kind of like what we went for. There's nothing like big or crazy or anything. I think it's going to all be used very consistently. And so I think what we're looking for when it comes to gifts are these things that we would want to buy our children anyways.
Yeah.
And as you can see, all of it.
It is. Yeah.
Is stuff that we would probably want to get at some point or another. So it seems like Christmas is a good time.
Mm-hmm. And so I'm so grateful that we are very on the same page when it comes to, you know, we don't purchase technology for our children or for ourselves for that matter.
I guess some like $3 walkie-talkies in there.
You're right. I forgot about that. So yeah, communication devices. But we also don't, what was I going to say? Not a lot of toys, which I'm really grateful for. And I know that this is like probably a lower year on toys because of our living situation.
No,
we just never really done that.
Lego's the toy that we purchased.
Yes.
We purchased Lego, and in the past we've purchased things like Lincoln Logs or Magnet Tiles,
Mm-hmm.
and we've added on or in train tracks. So like we basically add on to builder toys.
Yes.
But that's pretty much it.
You're right. Are those all in storage?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Well, that's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Move out of the tent. It's going to be like Christmas all over again, honestly, when we get into the tent.
For all of us, I can find my sewing machine.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get a new sewing machine. We'll be able to find all my thimbles, and we'll be able to just enjoy the life that we had once before.
Delicious. Oh, man. But yeah, we try to not get a lot of sugar or a lot of stuff that's going to get thrown out in a week.
Yeah, I'm curious.
They're just stuff for stuff's sake.
I'm curious, maybe if you're watching this on YouTube, you can leave in the comments what you do for your children, especially, you know, if you've got a bigger family. You know, we're getting towards the bigger size with our family, with our 6th child coming. I feel like that's just got to be a factor with families once they get past 3, you know, or 4 kids. You can't just kind of go full. You can't just willy-nilly go out and start buying everything that looks like a good idea. And so I'd be curious as to what people's ideas are, especially, you know, especially if you're in the vein that we're in, where, you know, we want to do like books, things that like are aesthetically pleasing to us anyways, obviously. So if you guys know exactly what we like, then give us your ideas.
Another idea that I just thought of is we can give the Risk Junior to Leon as a gift, and I could package the other Risk up as a family gift.
See, that's what when I saw them over there in the corner, I thought that must be the family gift.
Yeah.
That you hadn't talked about.
That's honestly a really good idea, is just to do a family gift and say, hey, that's what this is. Because
especially since he got 5 books with the Hardy Boys and the treats and the stocking.
Lucy got a few picture books too.
Like
all the kids. Louis just is the only one with the one book. It's just a big book.
Got it. Okay.
So all the kids got multiples. It's just all going to be wrapped together.
Got it. Basically, we're not. Oh, but you said give the junior to Leon.
I could either give the junior to Leon, or I could give the other one to Leon, and then wrap the Risk Junior and be like, "Here's the family gift." That's what was in my mind actually when I bought these. I thought I'm just going to give one of these as a family gift.
Yeah, that was a good call.
And then I just started thinking, well, maybe I can upsell this whole process and get a sewing machine out of it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is that is such a useful tool. And this is the reality. Since the day you and I got married, never once have you either purchased something or come to me, you know, asking to purchase something where I've thought like that's not very practical. You're extremely practical in your purchases, and like you're not I'm so grateful for this, not only just for yourself, but even for our kids. You're not buying frivolous things. You're not buying, name brand for the sake of name brand, or you're not buying accessories, just for the sake of accessories. It's like all very functional. And and yet you look so good all the time too. It's like you look like this fashion diva, but you do it in such a practical and way on a budget. And so thank you for that.
That's sweet of you to say. Our viewers are seeing me in the same orange sweater. It's been a rough time in the tent. Okay, there's like 3 shirts that fit.
Well, most of your closet's still in storage, and then you
Yes. I'm a unique size at this time.
Yeah, hopefully you'll be able to get out and do some shopping once
yeah.
Basically everything we just say once we're in the barn, once we move into our building, it's like all things are going to be made new again. That's how we talk.
It's true. Oh man. Well, I'm so grateful for the way that you spend financially too. You don't spend any money on yourself. So there's that. I feel like I really splurge because I'm the only one that spends money around here. And
I think that's typical.
Really,
yeah, because
no, that is not typical. Because a lot of people are coming to mind right now where that is not the case.
Okay. Well, I think oftentimes the wives are the ones buying for the home. Like they're buying for the kids. They're buying for just home management, home decor, home optimization. And so it probably feels like you're spending a lot, but it's almost always just for the family. Like you don't spend on yourself very often, which I'm grateful for. I mean, and I would love it if you did more of that. I think you more than deserve it. Okay.
You never make me feel bad. But so that's it, you guys. That's all we have for you today. A little jolly episode.
Yes. Folks, thank you all so much for listening. We are excited to talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.